Welcome to the Ultimate Bloons TD6 strategy series, where I'm going to be showing you strategies for every single tower from the Dart Monkey to the Beast Handler and every single path in between. This will show you how to diversify your setup and get better, along with seeing some stats, tips and tricks, and all of the strategies for every single one of the towers. And although that the series is geared more towards Chimps mode, this will also show you a lot of tips and tricks that apply to the standard game and will allow you to win with a new style. Alright, so this is the mid-path boat, and because the Trade Empire is being skipped, this is going to be the last of the boats. So we've got the Pirate Lord, the Cannon Ship, and the Monkey Pirates. All pretty funky towers, so let's get right into it. So the Cannon Ship, you really aren't going to see this guy used much in Chimps. Not really that useful, to be honest. The Monkey Pirates can do some mid-game damage, although it's a pretty weird tower, so I'll talk about that later. And the Pirate Lord can be very good for mid-game carry, and it can also do late-game damage. Got a really cool buff, so we'll see that too. Coming to the stats, again, we'll just have the stats go over. You can pause it and see them more specifically, but there's the Cannon Ship. Honestly, just to be brief, he's not that good. You've only really seen him when saving up for something like the Monkey Pirates. Very kind of rare use though. I guess you could use him, but really not as good as other options. The Monkey Pirates is also a strange tower, but definitely has some more uses. And then the Pirate Lord is pretty cool. It has a bunch of cool attacks and stuff, just does a lot of damage, and it's really nice. So we'll definitely be seeing a lot of the Pirate Lord use. It got a buff recently where its hooks, like, it now has 6 hooks, so it can hook in 2 ZMGs or like 6 BFBs at a time. It's really cool and it's really crazy. So now looking at the cross paths, they're all really simple. You want faster shooting and double shots. The Crow's Nest, very useless. It's just like range and pierce, not really anything super interesting. Now for the buffs, pretty much what you're going to want to do is just a bee brew for the Monkey Pirates. We're not buffing the Cannon Ship with anything, and once we get to Pirate Lord, we can go a bit crazier and get an OC on it along with the bee brew and whatever else you have in your setup. It doesn't really need a whole lot in buffs, so that's pretty good, and it's on good maps where you can make use of the double firing mechanic on the boats, where if they're able to shoot at 2 targets at once, they will shoot at 2 targets, going through twice as many projectiles, which is cool. And when it comes to heroes, it can be used with any hero, but if you really want to ramp up and use the Pirate Lord more specifically, you can bring Brickle, and that's going to buff the Pirate Lord a lot. But as a general damage, it can be put into a lot of different setups. So let's take a look at the objectives. The first thing is going to be the Pirate mid-game, and then the Pirate Lord mid-game carry, and then Pirate Lord late-game damage. So in this, we're going to just be seeing the Pirate Lord just being generally clumped into something to do some general damage throughout the rest of the game. So we're not really going to be seeing like Pirate Lord doing a whole lot of damage. We're just going to get Pirate Lord, and Pirate Lord's going to do stuff in the mid game and then also some stuff in the late game. They'll push through the mid game and then do some stuff in the late game. I'm just going to be bringing Gwen here. Honestly, like, there's nothing really too crazy. This is just an intermediate map, and I threw some random towers on the board. Not like a whole lot of strategizing going on, but that's all right. Sometimes that will happen. Anyways, as you can see here, I do get the Cannon Ship. The Cannon Ship isn't like terrible per se. It's not like it does nothing. Just when given other options, like a destroyer is so much better, and for only a little bit more, it will scale like way later. So besides just using this guy to get into your Monkey Pirates, I don't really see much use for it. And the Monkey Pirates itself is fairly good. It can be used. It's definitely not going to be as good on harder maps. So when you get to that point, you're definitely going to be relying, if you're going to be using a boat, on the destroyer and the aircraft carrier a lot more. It definitely has a lot more uses, and I would recommend trying it out because it's actually a pretty interesting and fun tower to use, especially with the hook. You can hook a BFB for free, so I guess that's pretty cool. The destroyer can't do that. Also, you can go for a Monkey Pirates right before round 40 if you don't really spend a whole lot. I just hooked that thing in on round 40. Pretty nice. I'm going to get some camo detection too, because this doesn't have camo detection, and typically I would then just out buff the Monkey Pirates with a bee brew that will increase its capabilities a lot. However, here on this map, I can't even get an out buff on it, so I guess it's going to have to hold. Anyways, I'm just going to get something a little bit to help out. Get an Abyss dweller right there, and that will allow me to sail up straight into Pirate Lord. As long as we get this before like round 60, we're typically fine. It's going to be able to beat round 63 and all that stuff, especially with that Berserker Brew applied to it and Jungle Drums. Unfortunately, again, I don't have it here, but this map is long, so that doesn't really matter anyways. Then from here, this guy will just be sitting here doing some extra damage. You can also use its hooks abilities, which are very useful. They come back pretty quickly, so not really too much to worry about there. You can spam them up if you want, and you actually can hook quite a lot now. It got changed from only doing 3 hooks to 6 hooks, because I guess it shows that there's 6 hooks on the art, but it only would shoot out 3 before like not that long ago. So anyways, I'm just going to speed up the footage here because there really isn't much too interesting. I guess I'll talk about Pirate Lord a bit in the meantime. So for quite a long time, this guy was like really trash, did pretty much nothing. I believe at one point, well actually for a while, not just at one point, it only shot out 1 cannon. And then because like on the art, it showed that there's like 6 cannons on this thing. Well, it would shoot out 1 cannon, and then it could shoot out from the other side if that targeting option was available. So at some point it was changed to now it could shoot out 3 cannons per side, 6 if it had the other targeting option available. And they also buffed up the stats, and then they like super buffed the Pirate Lord a long time ago. So it was like crazy strong, like ridiculously strong, and then they nerfed it down. What didn't get too much use, but it got a recent buff with hooks. It got twice as much hooks, because I guess in the art it does show that there's 6 hooks, but it was only using 3 hooks. That made it pretty cool, pretty interesting, and I think it's in a pretty good spot now. Very nice. Just was a good damage additive there. So that was pretty much just throwing it in the mid game and then having it do something in the late game. And then you can also just have your monkey pirates be put in some random mid game. It will take out the mobs pretty well. You'll get a hook. You can hook like in a BFB if you want. Does some good damage. Unlike the aircraft carrier, it could clean up a bit because it won't have planes going in random wonky directions. Anyways, let's take a look at an example now of putting a really cool combination strategy together that involves the Energizer. So now you've seen some Energizer. If you saw my Energizer episode, I did 2 example runs with the Energizer with Brickle. I'm going to be doing another Energizer Brickle run that would look like more in mine stacking for the Brickle episode. But for this one, we're taking use of the Energizer in 3 different scenarios. So we're getting like 3 for 1 value with the Energizer, and that's getting twice as much hooks on the Pirate Lord, which gets crazy with an Energizer. And then we're also getting twice as long naval tactics uptime. I guess we're also getting twice as many Brickle mines, so that's 4 things. And then we're also going to get level 20 Brickle too. So I guess it's 4 for 1 value with an Energizer. And with this, you actually can go pretty crazy. I don't really think I've seen anybody use this, at least from what I know, but it's a pretty cool strategy, so I definitely would recommend trying out. I'm just doing a pretty standard start. The early game was a little bit rough here because this cannon chip does kind of fall off. I'm just going to try to get my reactor up as fast as possible so I don't really have to worry about these balloons in the early game, and then we can use our naval tactics ability. Even with just a cannon chip, a naval tactics ability can take out a Moab fairly well, so that's nice at least. I should be able to, if I recall from the recording, I should be able to get the pirate ship up before then. Yeah, I do. So you can get the pirate ship up. Even with a reactor, you'll still have a bit of wiggle room. You might not get the ability up in time, but if you don't, you can just pop the naval tactics ability and that thing will go down. But I had the ability there, so I just hooked in the Moab. Pretty cool way to deal with that. Anyways, we're going to get my jungle drums, and then I'm going to get my out buff, and now this guy's going to be doing a lot of damage. On this map, as you remember from if you watched the carrier flagship episode, a lot of the projectiles will just like hit the walls, but that's alright. The map's pretty long for the advanced map, and I guess you're suffering from the gimmick at the cost of just having a lot more track length. So it's not really that bad of a trade-off for an advanced map, but we're going to still be doing very well, and there's going to be no issues. Anyways, next objective is just to be getting this Pirate Lord. So we're going to be working on that next. As you know, we can get it up for the mid game before round 60, and that's going to be doing just fine. I got stim here. I'm honestly not sure why in the recording I did that. I don't actually remember doing that, but a lot of times you'll just have a B brew will work fine. You can get stim in the late game. I guess it isn't that bad of a deal, like especially if you have like an extra 3k, but typically I just keep it as B brew. Again, I don't know why I did that. Anyways, you can see I hooked in the BFB because it's pretty cool, and I have my Pirate Lord now, so we should be carrying along just fine. As I said, it can do a mid-game carry, so we're going to be carrying it throughout the mid-game. In the meantime, I'm going to be saving up for Energizer now, so I should be getting Energizer before round 80. We'll get level 20 Brickle sometime in the not so near distant future with this. Level 20 Megamines didn't really do a whole lot. They were pretty cool, but that only really means a lot if you get like an early Energizer and Brick stack a lot. But the naval tactics, double the naval tactics, double the hooks. It's just a lot of fun. Really, really cool. I think I used this strategy quite a long time ago. I feel like I made a few videos on it, but that was like more like challenge showcases, and it was quite a long time ago, so I don't think they got like too many views in the first place. But I'm curious if anybody else has ever heard of or like the idea of using Pirate Lord Brickle and an Energizer together, because I don't really recall like anybody outside of myself using this. Again, I like don't see every single run posted on like Reddit, YouTube, Discord, all that kind of stuff, so I don't really know. But from what I've seen, I've never actually seen it done before, so it would be pretty cool if somebody maybe has tried it or thought of it or seen somebody else. Just want to ask that. And also it's just something that I really recommend doing. It's a lot of fun. Like a lot of times I'll showcase these strategies and like they're effective, and I'll be like, you can try using this if it's effective, but this one's actually like a lot of fun to do. Just spamming all over the hooks, just like hooking and everything. It's so much fun. I don't really use the hook here because I think when I was doing this I was like watching like a stream or something, but there you go, I used the hook, and you just like slurp in literally everything. So you really can spam the ability. It comes back super fast. If the Brickle and Pirate Lord are in range of the Energizer, you're able to have a 50% cooldown reduction. I think it is, instead of a 20%. So that's a pretty big decrease. You're going to be getting a lot of abilities up. And then also on top of that, you'll have your permanent uptime OC on your Pirate Lord instead of having some downtime, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to get overclock there later, but this can just go crazy. And also I noticed there's like a glitch. I don't know if people have been seeing this, but the fortification layer doesn't show up until you start attacking. Kind of strange. Anyways, we'll just get the support. Gonna grab a relentless glue. Actually, I don't know if I get relentless glue. It's a mob glue for now. Get an overclock. We can overclock, use the abilities, and it's just a lot of fun. Anyways, like you notice that those BFBs didn't show up as having the perma brood status, but later not perma brood status, what I'm saying, fortification status. But then later when I started damaging, the fortification came on. It's kind of weird. Anyways, I'm gonna grab a glue storm just to pull everything together, make the Pirate Lord do a lot more damage. So now we're kind of just like doing Pirate Lord everything. We're just like totally buffing it up with all of these synergies. It's crazy. Glue storm, it's going to allow us to get the DDTs a lot better. We can use the naval tactics. Again, this is a lot of abilities. You can also just like pair the Pirate Lord with just another damage tower, as you saw in like the first run, but it's a lot of fun doing this sometimes. Again, I know there's a lot of abilities. If that's too daunting, you can definitely just use Energizer, Pirate Lord, Brickle, and another tower on top. But this is a lot of fun. This one was like definitely really cool, and I definitely want to try challenges with this too. Thanks for watching. If you want to help out the channel, you can check out these new videos, like and subscribe for more content, support the channel by becoming a member, and joining the Discord to chat with the community. Bye!